In this final exercise of the chapter, I'm going to show you how to switch between the various screen modes here inside of Illustrator. Let's back out a little bit by pressing Control 1 or Command 1 on the Mac so we can take in the entire design. And let's say that I need more room on screen. For example, I'll press Control plus or Command plus on the Mac in order to zoom in one increment so that we're seeing the illustration at 150% and some stuff is getting cut off. Why, I can devote more room to my illustration at any given point in time just by tapping the Tab key. And notice when I press Tab, all of my panels disappear, including my left side toolbox, my top side control panel, and all of my right side panels as well. Now, I can bring them back temporarily by hovering over these thick gray vertical bars. So notice if I hover over this guy, I temporarily bring back the toolbox, and then I could switch to a different tool, such as the Type tool, then move away, and the toolbox goes away again. Then if I need one of my panels, I can hover over this right side thick bar, up come my right side panels, and I could switch to a different layer, for example. And having done that, I'll move my cursor away, and the panels will go away again. So you may find that a useful way to work. Notice you cannot bring up the control panel temporarily. There is no horizontal bar across the top of the screen. However, you can do this. You can just press the Tab key once again, and just like that, up come all of the panels. So you never permanently lose your interface. In fact, if you were to get so freaked out by the lack of those panels that you quit Illustrator and you restarted the program, they'd all come back. So Illustrator is pretty smart about having your back there. But just remember, Tab hides them, Tab makes them come back. You also have the option of just hiding the right side panels. After all, they're the ones that take up the most room on screen. So you can press Shift-Tab to hide those guys. You can still bring them back by hovering over that thick vertical bar like so. Move away, and they go away again. To bring them up permanently, press Shift-Tab once again, like so. All right, next we have the options of switching between the screen modes. And to show you where the screen modes live, they're way at the bottom of the toolbox. And I can't even see the bottom of my toolbox. So I'm going to have to click on this double arrow icon to switch back to the 2-column and much shorter toolbox like so. And then notice you got this guy right there, which changes the screen mode. And if you click, you're going to bring up a pop-up menu, as you see here. Right now, we're in the normal screen mode in which we see the illustration inside the tabbed window interface. So if I had multiple windows open, I could see their tabs at the top of the screen. If I choose full screen mode with menu bar, it should say full screen mode with everything except an illustration window, because the only thing you get rid of is the illustration window. So notice that my scroll bar goes away on the right side of the screen, and my illustration tucks underneath the toolbox as well over here on the left side. And I lose my tabs. So now, when you're in this display, by the way, you can do anything you want. You can still edit your illustration to your heart's content. If you want to switch between illustrations, so you take advantage of that keyboard shortcut I was telling you about, Control-Tab here on the PC or Command-tilde on the Mac. And then you've got the ultimate full screen mode, this guy right there, full screen mode, which basically says goodbye interface and hello illustration. And now you can do, once again, anything you want as long as you know the keyboard shortcuts for everything. For example, if I press the V key, I'll switch to my black arrow tool. If I press and hold the space bar, I can get my hand tool on the fly so that I can go ahead and scroll the window to a different location, and so on and so on. Now, you may think to yourself, Deke, why are you showing me such a thing? I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm going to sit here and know the keyboard shortcut to everything and be able to work in this mode. Now I'm stranded in this ridiculous full screen mode. Well, actually, you're not. You can get out of it just as you would expect by pressing the Escape key. The Escape key will return you from the full screen mode back into the warm and tender embrace of the normal screen mode that you see right now. You can also cycle between the various screen modes from the keyboard. And to celebrate that, I'm going to switch back to my single column toolbox here because I don't need access to those options at the bottom of the toolbox. So the F key switches between the various full screen modes, even though one of them is normal screen. So if I press F once, I go to the no illustration window mode where I still have the interface. If I press F twice, then I go to the full-on full screen mode where I have no interface to work with, though I can press the Tab key to bring the interface back if I want to, or press Tab to hide it again. And then if I press F a third time, it's the same as pressing Escape. I return back to the normal tabbed window interface. Now you might say, Deke, where are the panels? Well, because I pressed the Tab key there, I got rid of them. I'll press Tab again to bring them back. Normally, If you weren't fooling around with tab, you would just press F for no illustration window, F for absolute full screen, and then F to return to the normal interface. So remember those keys. What you got here is the tab key to hide and show panels, and then you've got the F key in order to cycle between the full screen modes, and then you've got the escape key to figuratively parachute back into the normal interface.